Hi, babes.
Hey,
We're recording. I see it.
I see it.
Hey, y'all.
Yes.
Hi, babe. How are you guys doing?
It's hot.
It is hot in Houston. That's for sure.
I haven't been outside today, so I don't know.
I had some real nice baby hair at the beginning of the day.
Come on, braids.
Nah,
Look, I need to join the braid party.
The braid brigade.
I am sleep.
And Chloe, you looking good?
I know.
I do what I can.
So jumping right.
I was like, oh yeah, let's get right to it. Sorry.
So jumping right into it. I know you guys saw our Instagram post, right? And y'all saw the topic of polygamy. And that came from Insecure. All right, y'all?
No, it's just like a way.
Yo, I swear I thought y'all said they came from Insecure.
No. But I get where you're going with it.
Yeah.
I thought, because I haven't seen, y'all, I haven't seen the episodes since episode 1 because I want to see them all together. So I haven't seen them. I feel away. I'm like that. I don't be wanting to wait for the next one. So I'd rather all them release and then I watch it.
I feel you, because I just started little fires everywhere because I want to see all the episodes. I don't like waiting.
That's really good. That's really good.
I don't like waiting a week. I want to see everything.
So this is even more interesting. So where did it come from, y'all? Did it come from the challenge?
It came from Sonara.
It's a lot of couples on my Facebook page. I've seen the Don't Rush challenge. I know people who have entered the lifestyle, but it has been brought to my attention that polygamy is more a religious thing. But what I was talking about is hold on, because I have
polyamory.
It's religious.
Yes. Polygamy is like sister wives and stuff. It's a religion. It's a man who's married to multiple women. But polyamory is just basically an open relationship where everything goes. Either the man can date other women, or the couple date a woman together, or they both date separately, but they're still together. And a lot of people are from what I've seen, people are interested. People are trying to see what the lifestyle is like. People are flaunting the lifestyle. Like, why have one when you can have two, stuff like that.
I won't say possessive, that's definitely not the word, but I'm too territorial, I think, to ever deal with like a polygamy relationship or be poly, whatever. I'm just too...
That's why people just say poly, because it has a lot of different dynamics.
Yeah.
Polygram, polygraphy. It's too much. I was in the chat like, what is it?
Me too. I was like, polygamy. I've definitely heard of polygamy, and I feel like I've dated someone who was like open to a polygamy relationship. Not with me. We nipped that in the bud real quick. Hence why we don't date anymore.
That's your boundaries.
But we talked about that, and there are people out here who just feel like they can't be tied down to one person for the rest of their lives. And not even in the terms of marriage, but just in life in general. Like, they feel like, especially, I feel like for men, and that's why I wanted to like get a polygamy couple or someone on the show, because I feel like our views would be a little biased just because we never experienced that. But from the person who I was dating who was open to that, I remember I feel like it's such a man thing. Like, men are not supposed to be, tied down to a woman. And they refer back to like the religion. They refer actually back to the Bible when it comes to that, when it comes to polygamy. So
I would like to see where they got that scripture.
That's real. Yeah, me too. That's real interesting. I'm the same
way. Bible. I kind of feel like they weren't there. Didn't some of them have? Y'all are more into the Bible than I had, but I feel like weren't there couples or men in the Bible who had multiple wives?
I don't know.
Chloe, I would just like to point out that you just
said,
the Bible.
Like,
first of all, I did not go to seminary school. I am not a pastor, honey.
I said y'all knew it more than me. I
just love the Lord. He heard my cry. That's all I could say.
I said y'all knew it more than me. I didn't say y'all were Bible thumpers. I never said y'all were Jehovah's Witnesses. I just said y'all knew it more than me.
District said Bible thumpers.
That's all I was
getting. I've never heard that before.
That's all I was getting.
Okay. So, okay.
I'm gonna look it up.
I agree with Chloe. I agree with Chloe when it comes down to that. I am territorial and I am possessive. I'm learning that in my relationship now. That's the thing I gotta work on because I am like that.
Did you learn that during this quarantine process, or did you already know that?
I feel like before my boyfriend called me out on it, and I was like, nigga, what? No, I'm not. And this quarantine helped me gather myself. You know what I'm saying? And be like, yo, that's you. Like, definitely. I'm possessive. I am. Okay. Anyway, that's another. But I'm working on it. But yes, I feel you. I feel you, Chloe, 100%. I feel like it doesn't make sense. Like, why am I so? Because I'm sharing a man, right? So I'm not in a relationship, right?
You're in an open relationship. So there's.
But why am I in a relationship then if it's open?
Good question.
That to me is like the queen of possessiveness, of being possessive. Because it's possessing somebody. Like if you are not with one, you're open, but you're still with. So what's the point?
Sonara, what
like if I'm with you, but you could be with other people, then I should just be with myself, right?
But you could be with other people too.
Exactly. So I could just be by myself, right? And just have a fuck buddy. Like that's being single. Shit. Why do I have to be in a relationship?
Yeah.
That's being single. I have my basket of niggas. I have my nigga that, my little cutie, the one that, we not together, but we together. And then I have my little other one that's not right now, guys. Obviously I'm in a relationship. I mean, when I was single. But I just feel like that's being single. Period. Like
literally.
I feel like, what are you doing then? Like
that's why I wanted to.
It just comes down to maybe you're bisexual. Like maybe you just like that girl and that guy. And if that's the case, then okay, cool.
But see, there's rules in it.
That's your business. Hey, Tabitha Brown.
Okay, that's your business.
But there's rules in it. That's why I really wanted to talk to a couple, like a polygamy couple,
rules.
Meaning that
there are boundaries,
there are boundaries there, and that's how they define it as a relationship. Because there's certain things that can and can't be done, which defines it as a relationship. That's why I wanted to talk to a polygamy couple, because it makes there is a relationship title within the parties, like whether there's two women and one man or vice versa. Like they define themselves as being in a relationship. So like how you're sitting there saying like, I'm just single, but to them, they're not single. I'm in a relationship. I'm in a relationship with two people. Like I'm in a relationship.
Me and my girl have a girl.
Yeah. Or it's not even me and my girl have a girl, because to me, that's a threesome. It's like I'm with this woman. If I'm a woman and I'm in a polygamy relationship, it's like I'm in a relationship with this woman and I'm in a relationship with this man.
There's also a dynamic where the woman does not date anyone else. The man dates other women, and he just brings them in sometimes. And
is that polygamy, or is that him being a hoe?
It's a bunch of dynamics. Like this is what I've gathered from talking to couples who are in that lifestyle, but they're not comfortable to be on here to talk to us. But I have asked,
and that's fine. And I totally understand. And we are going to I feel like in some way we will be able to reach out to some couples so that way we can get some insight on people who are actually, exactly. That is very interesting. I did not know there were rules to.
There's boundaries for sure.
Boundaries, yeah,
there's boundaries. So that brings us to like the topic in hand, because we were really like, Sonara was working really hard to find us like a polygamy couple to talk to, because we didn't want to really dive into it, just because all of our views are the same about polygamy. Is a no for all of us. So we wanted to bring in someone that was open to it, but we wanted to like broaden the topic and just kind of talk about open relationships in general, and not just open relationship, but being submissive in your relationship. So what are y'all thoughts on submission? Because the group chat was getting real interesting before we hopped on this Zoom. And it was getting interesting because I think each one of us defines submission differently. And so now you were taking a more spiritual approach. So talk about your.
That's the only time I see myself submitting is to my husband. Why would I be submissive to anyone else? I'm not gonna cause I guess before I got to a spiritual level, submissive to me means make myself smaller. And I'm like, why would I submit to my boss? I mean, I wouldn't call it even submission. We just follow the guidelines, but submission belongs to my husband. And that's only when he loves me like the church.
Why does submission make sense to you now versus not before you were married?
Well, because I wasn't submissive, because it's like, well, I'm not going to say, how do I explain it? It's just like, I'm not going to let you lead me somewhere that I know ain't the right way. Or I feel like I don't want to do that. So I'm not going to follow you. And for me, I have to understand that my husband rules over me because it's God, husband, family. I'm not going to be blessed. I'm cutting off my blessings from God because they're coming through my husband.
See, that's such a tricky because I'm different when it comes to that. And it could be, I don't think I'm submissive at all. I don't think I'm submissive. I don't think I would ever get to a point of submission. I don't think I would be submissive to my husband. I think I would be submissive to God, because like when you put in the text, it was just like, it's God, your husband, and then you. And to me, it's just like, no, it's God then me. I'm not putting him
now because
in
you
the
don't
middle.
Have a husband. It's because you don't have a husband now. But if you look at the order of what God says, it's him, the husband, the wife. That doesn't mean I do everything that Derek say. Now, y'all know I don't do everything that Derek tell me to do. It's just giving up that because your husband is the leader. You can't both. You have your areas where you are better, but the overall leader and the head of your household is your husband.
See, I feel like that would be me. And I guess I say that just to say because I grew up in a household where my mom is the leader. Like she is the household. And so that's why I thought it would be a good conversation just because everyone's definition of submission is different. And I just cannot, and it could be because I'm not married, but even I feel like when I am married, I just cannot be submissive to my man.
And it's when people say submissive, they see it as a weakness. It's not you being.
No, I kind of define it as how you define it. It's just like making him be the lead. I don't believe in that. Like I don't technically believe in men being the lead, in my opinion. No, I'm so much smarter.
That's the Leo in you.
Much smarter.
I don't know. That's the Leo in you because we're leaders.
Honestly, I think that is just being honest. I think that's a personal thing. I don't think it has anything to do with any man or any relationship. That's personal. And I think that what relationships do, the good thing about relationships is that the relationships will allow you to be very retrospective, especially when you're in a relationship with someone that you respect. Because you love, because they're gonna tell you, you're gonna come to a time they're gonna be like, hey, let me tell you something. What I experienced with you is this, that, this, and the third. And I think that once you come to it, you'll realize that that's more of a personal thing. Because I feel you, Chloe, and I had to kind of, I don't know, govern myself in a different way because that it was a personal thing. It had nothing to do with. It had everything to do with me and how I viewed men.
No, I can.
From
100% is that what that is? Yeah.
So I mean, and once you get into a relationship and you go through your journey with your boyfriend or whoever, whatever, it'll fan out. And I feel like
you don't just submit to any man. That's my thing.
Yeah.
It says in the Bible, wives, submit yourself unto your husband. Yeah. That's what the Bible says. It's a scripture. So it's whether you choose to do it or not.
Yeah. And then I feel like before then, as us being single women, I'm in a relationship, but single, married, I'm not married.
Are you filing your taxes? Yes.
Exactly. So being single woman, we look at it like, this nigga, like, I ain't about to have no nigga leave me. Like, I know I can hold my own. I can make the right decisions for this and that. But I think that going through the journey of dating and wanting to be married and wanting your thought process kind of shifts because it's bigger than you. Understand it's bigger than you. It's not.
No, I get it. I feel like maybe I haven't ran, it could be well enough that I haven't ran into a man that I'm willing to be submissive.
And that's what it is.
Absolutely.
When you will submit when the man gets you there.
Okay.
Yeah.
It ain't your time. You haven't found a man worth submitting to, and you should not submit until your husband is here.
Period.
And that's
I gotta hide.
And you know, but you know what? Sometimes I feel like being submissive has a lot to do with us personally too, though, because I think there are times where your husband may not be showing actions where you want to fucking submit, and he may, because we all still go through our journeys and stuff. So I think it's a personal thing as a woman to say, okay, well, this is my stance. This is how I'm gonna honor my guy or my husband or whatever, and this is where I'm doing whatever he does. Because if you go based off of what he do and based off of the type of person, I just kind of feel like that shit could waver. Because ultimately, if that nigga start moving weird, are you gonna be following his ass?
Exactly.
I know I wouldn't. I'm gonna be like, no, I'm not submitting to. It's like, if I submit to you, is my livelihood gonna be fucked? If I submit to you, is my mental health gonna be fucked up? You know what I'm saying? Like, people go through their own shit. So I feel like being submissive has a lot. It's personal. It's what are you going to do? What do you stand for? How are you going to be as a woman in a relationship? That's important.
Question for Sanaa then. So because I know every day in a marriage or every week or every month in a marriage is not always like peaches and cream. And I know Derek is not always on his like A game. So what do you do as a married woman to maintain to maintain your sanity and still trust him to come back to that like
leading role? Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a good question, because in the beginning I was not submissive, and I just always wondered why my relationship was never excelling. Like, why can't, like, I'm trying, I'm telling you what to do, I'm doing what we need to do, but that's not my place. So what I've had to do, and what all married women would tell you to do, free game, ladies, we know that the male, I hate to say it, no disrespect to men are like a figurehead. We know when they say behind every man, every great man is a greater woman.
Phenomenal woman. That's
who we are. But what we have to understand is that we can give him the lane, but we have to give him the option to choose. And that way, like, we already, like, what I do, if I know we need to make a big decision, I already do the legwork sometimes. If I know it's something I'm passionate about, I do the leg.
Samara, I already do the leg. I gave you the plate. I just need you to serve it.
Exactly. And at that point right there, that's submission, because you're giving him the end, like, he is the determining factor of where you're about to go. No matter what you've done in the background, hey, baby, I found this out. Okay, which one you want to do, this one or this one? And he's like, I think we should do that.
Maybe that's what I'm missing, because I guess when I do hear the word submissive, I do sometimes think of like letting go of like all of your control and like trusting it in the hands of someone else. Mm-hmm. And the person who I am is just kind of like, no, I'm very intelligent. I can make not only decisions for me and you. So that's why it's just so hard for me to be like, ooh.
I honestly think, being submissive, I think it's just submitting to, it's gonna sound corny as fuck, but submitting to love, submitting to trust, submitting to the fact that you have somebody in your life that has vowed or promised that they will be faithful to you, they will respect you, they will honor you, and they will be the man, they will lead you and and protect you and be the man that you want them to be. And I think that's what being submissive is. And that's what my definition is. Because, when you as single women, you know what I'm saying, you go through your own thing. You experience men, you experience different types of men, different types of relationships. So when you get to a point to where there's a guy that's like, I want to take you seriously, sometimes it's difficult. It's difficult to be like, okay, and to me, that's what submitting is, saying, okay. Submitting is saying, I trust that the shit that's coming out your mouth is not bullshit. I trust that you're going to be faithful.
For my benefit.
I trust that you're working towards making me happy. That's what I trust. And that to me is what
and
it
making
is
us
submitting.
better. Yeah.
And making
Maybe
us better.
I've never, I can be honest, I've never came around anybody like that to understand what submission is. So maybe that's why I'm just so like.
Because we're thinking of it as the actual word and not the spiritual meaning behind it. That's what it is. Because it's like, when I hear submit, I'm like, and the Bible says, wives, submit to your husbands, not women, submit to your men.
Yeah.
Not, like none of that. And then in turn, it says, husbands, not men, if you want to increase submission in your wives, not your woman, you have to increase your love for her.
That's real.
So it's a give and take. You got to supply me with what I need, love me like the church, and I will give you submission. But if you're not giving me that, I can't give you what I'm supposed to, because we're not doing it right.
Yeah.
So absolutely. It's like, you have no reason to submit right now because you don't have a husband.
Right.
You can prepare yourselves, but I mean, in actuality, there will be no submission until I have a ring. And that's
absolutely. Mm-hmm. Now, what I will say is that maybe I don't. Yeah, I think that's a counseling thing for me. Yeah. Like, you do pre-marriage counseling, because to me, like, with my definition of being submissive, I feel like that actually assists with the development of our relationship. Being able to submit to trusting him, and being able to submit to the commitment that he's made to me, not being my husband.
You think submission starts? You think submission starts before marriage?
Because you have to prepare yourself.
In my situation, yes, because I've had trust issues. So for me, I've had to submit to trusting somebody. Mm-hmm. Period. In order for us to continue, because without that, ain't shit about to be nothing. But I feel like in what Sanara's talking about, like in a marriage, I feel like that's different. I feel like that's a different type of submission, which I feel is so. That's why this conversation is so interesting, because we all have different definitions of submission.
Because we're all
because of where we are in our lives.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing.
We only got 10 more minutes.
Right.
This is good.
Right.
Okay, so where you're at in your relationship right now, Lo, how do you feel like, you just said trust, but what other ways do you feel like you're submitting in your relationship?
What other ways am I submitting in my relationship? Time, I don't fucking know. The only thing I can think about is trust. Submitting to trust, I feel like that's the foundation. Submitting to
him.
Huh?
You submit your feelings to him because you're trusting that.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Submitting, and that's being vulnerable. That's really good. I submit my feelings. I submit trust. I submit shit. I don't know. Communication. I don't know. I just know that.
That's a lot. It's a lot.
I just do. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna say I relinquish my power, but I feel like my guards are down with him, and I feel like that's a submission. When you don't have your guards up. And no, I take that back, because you shouldn't have a guard up regardless. You should be a free living, full of light and love. But you know what I mean? Like, when it comes to certain things, like, I have my guard down. So I feel like that's me submitting. That's me believing. I see submission as like a belief. Like, me submitting is me believing in this person. Me believing that this person will not cause me any harm. Me believing that this person will say what they say they're going to say. Do what they say they're going to do. Me believing that they're going to be good for me. And they're not going to, they ain't going to fuck me over.
Yeah.
That to me is submission. That's submission. Because otherwise, I'm a single ass bitch and I'm out here doing my thing.
So submission is trust. And
that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. Like, otherwise, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's submission to me. Because otherwise, I'm just, So, yeah. But I'm pretty sure, like, in marriage, it's different. Like, submission is very different. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure in marriage. Right?
Yeah.
Somewhere?
Yeah.
In what way?
Like, I have to trust, like you're saying, I have to trust that every decision my husband makes is for my better benefit, for the benefit of our family, for the acceleration of our relationship.
My God.
It's hard because, again, that's why I gave you that, because it's like, even sometimes, well, no, God only gives one of y'all the vision.
Why you say that?
Because if both of y'all have the
interesting.
vision, if both of y'all have the vision, y'all both gonna have separate ways of trying to get it done, and y'all gonna be moving this way instead of this way.
Well, see, that's where because I can have a vision, and then he can have his vision, and then we can have a group vision, and then we can have 3 visions.
Right? No, I'm saying the vision for your marriage and for your unit.
But how is a union like a marriage supposed to survive if we on 2 different visions? You know what I'm saying?
That's why he only gives you one.
But you say he gives one person the vision though.
Right. He might not have the same, like, for y'all acceleration to move forward. Like, he might not always see the bigger picture like you do. Or you might not always see the bigger picture like he does. But you have to trust that where the person who has that vision, you either have to add to getting towards your goal, or y'all have to work together to get there.
See, that scares me though. Let me tell you why that scares me, because it's just like, let's say, using your example, if God gave me the vision to be like, this is the person that you're gonna marry, so I need you to like do this, this, and this, and this to make this relationship flourish and make this marriage flourish for the work that I have for the both of you. Now, if he don't have the vision that God told me, I feel like I'm pulling him to be like, yo, this is what God told us to do. And if he's resistant, then it's just kind of like, well, God, is this it? Because this ain't. But how does God give only one person the vision? You know?
Is this Sonar? Is this after marriage? In my situation. After marriage, right? This is after marriage.
We got 5 minutes, y'all. 5 minutes
after marriage, because look, I can see that in my marriage, I have the vision. But that comes with great power, because even though I have the vision, I know I can see where we're going. I can see what we'll have, but I need my husband to get us there, because I can't go there by myself. So what Derek does is, okay, I'm like, okay, babe, this is what I see. So how do you think we're going to get there? Okay, I'm going to tell you how we're going to get there. This. And now okay, so now it's our vision, because I have it, but he has the steps. So now we're moving.
That's interesting. So in a sense, you say that he kind of submitted to you at that point by giving him your perception of what this relationship. See, no, I'm so.
It sounds confusing, but even though I do have the vision, I can't move until he gives me what we need. So it's really not me. It's really not him submitting. It's like, okay, I see what you have. Now let me help you get there, or let me help us get there.
But do you ever feel like you beating a dead horse?
No. I can separate when it's for me singly, individually. I know when it's my vision for myself and the vision for our family. Because if he don't agree with it, then it's like, okay. So then what do you think? Oh.
What happened?
Sorry.
You still on?
Sorry.
You still on?
We can still see you.
Okay,
that's good. That's good that you think that way. That's what I'm saying. That's why I feel like.
Listen, I didn't always have that.
But what's what I'm saying, I feel like the concept that you're speaking about that's like a marriage counseling type of thing, because I think that's like a whole like different mindset. Because for me,
that's what premarital counseling is for.
Yeah, I struggle with like, okay, like if we got a vision, we talked about the vision, okay, and at that time, we came to a compromise or an agreement about what the vision was. So both of us should be actively working towards that vision, right?
Yeah.
So
why?
So why is it that I have it and you don't? I don't understand. That's what
his journey. That's his journey. I can't speak. You can't speak.
Oh, you speaking on a personal basis? Oh, y'all.
Yeah.
You better run me with your food upstairs. I know that. But. Okay, so you're talking about y'all. Okay, because I'm like, honey, if we speak about it, we both are accountable. We both are responsible for the execution of this vision.
Exactly.
Period. So I don't, and I ain't gonna lie, I have that is one of my biggest issues in relationships. Period. I don't, no ma'am. Like
That trust.
My biggest fear is raising
a man,
3 children and a husband.
Yeah.
Well, I can't. It's not that I can't, and it's not that I won't. It's not that I can't, and it's not that I won't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, Lord, like,
that ain't my testimony.
But you know, that's your desire. You know, God's not gonna give you that man because He knows your heart's desire.
But you know what? Secretly, Sonora and Chloe, I feel like all men are stupid.
That's why I feel like I can't be submissive.
Right. So I just feel like no matter what man you go with, like you're gonna have like multiple children. Like he's gonna be a child at some point. I'm just convinced. I just don't. I don't know. And I know I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong. I know, babes. I know y'all gonna say.
That's
nah, Rashad.
I'm with you, Lo. I stand with Lo.
Desmond.
Yeah.
But from my experience, I feel like when it comes down to commit with being in a relationship and actually going deeper.
We got less than a minute.
Look at Lloyd. What's Chloe? What's Chloe?
Oh no, it just say less than a minute on the thing. So y'all want to wrap it up?
I only got a strong hour.
I got a strong hour.
So ultimately,
no, I'm not cutting this. Zoom is cutting us off.
Okay.
Ultimately, babes, we wanted to come to you guys and just talk about open relationship and talk about being submissive. As women, you know, that's a topic. Whether you're single, married, in a relationship, it's complicated. It always comes up. So we wanted to discuss with each other and with you guys on our thoughts about that. Because ultimately, like it, you know, it affects us. I mean, if you, as women, we're gonna get with a man. If you're not, you're gonna get with a woman, and it's gonna be the same thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like ultimately, relationships. That's a topic that goes into. So we hope that this